Hi, this is Catherine Rosa. I'm with Board Game Geek here at SPIEL 2016. I'm sitting here with Christophe Boelinger from Ludicality, and he's here to talk about Four Gods. So tell me about the game.
So Four Gods is just released here at Essen. We made a video last year here. I had the prototype and you played it.
I had a chance to play it. It was fun.
It was the fastest game we ever played.
It was a little hectic.
Yeah, it was very fast. So this time I'm showing the final product. Here I've set up a beginning of a game, the way we play. So this is all the final components. As you can see, we have a nice little miniatures that have all the weight that has been put at the bottom. So now
They're
thing
easy
that
to place.
they stand better, they don't fall like the ones I had in the prototype. So basically, what is it? It's a game that I created because I wanted to correct something in my life that I didn't like, and it's puzzle. And so contrary to what I do usually I start from the theme and I build a game with it, totally sticking to the theme. This time, no, the idea was there's something you don't like in life, it's puzzle. And why do you don't like puzzle? And what would you do to correct those things and finally make that you're gonna love puzzle? So the two things that I didn't like in puzzle is that it's a solitary thing. So me, I like, board games and all, having people around the table.
You like the interaction between people.
So I had to have a puzzle that we do all together. And the second thing was, it's a puzzle that requires patience. I'm sorry. And patience is the last on the list of my role-playing
So you want
Christophe
something
Boelinger
fast,
thing.
and you wanted something that it would require people to interact with each other.
So once I had that, then I cannot design a game with just that, and I had to have the theme. So okay, this is what you want. Now try to find the theme that goes perfectly with what you want to do. And that's when I started to imagine that there were four people, four gods, trying to build a world, but some were for the elves, so they wanted more woods, the dwarf wanted more mountains, and so the whole game got built like that. So to resume, it's a game that has a unique property, apparently, propriety, skill, I don't know, in the world, apparently, is that it's the only game that the more player you are, the faster it goes. So if you are two players, it takes double time than if you have four players. And
that's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. And that has to do with the fact that you are building something together, so the more people you have, the faster the building process works.
Some players, during all the shows and the playtests and shops, named it like a Carcassonne under amphetamine. Because or cocaine or whatever, because you all speed
on crack.
This, if you want. In France we say Carcassonne under amphetamine. Why do they compare it to Carcassonne? Because simply you build the world and you have to match the puzzle pieces.
And
water, touch, world, and it's tile, and you place miniatures on it. So basically we start with nothing inside the frame. We all draw two tiles from the nice Four Gods bag that we have here.
Lovely velvet bag.
And when we have all the 2 tiles in hand, ready, set, go, and we go and we all play. The main rules is that we always have to touch two sides, rectilinear line sides, okay? The city that has been built here is circular, so I cannot go and touch here. So I have to touch two sides, and on top of that, I have to respect the puzzle, which is what I didn't do at all right there, so I'm not supposed to do that. So we all play like that. When there's tiles we cannot place, we can discard them in our own discard section, and there's 4 different that can hold up to 10 tiles. But at any time we can look at a tile, and if we think that we can place it, take it back and go place it. But it's more than that. We can also go look at the tiles of the other players, and if there's one that we like, take it and enter it.
As long as we have a free hand, we can...
Everything you remember right is based on the fact that we have two hands, sorry. So when I have no more tiles in my hands, I can draw because I need one hand to catch the bag, and one hand to go inside, and I can draw 1 or 2 tiles. If I want to flip to the other players, I have to have one free hand. So everything is based on that, and since we all play simultaneously, head in the wheel, like we say in France, we don't have kind of the time to look if the other ones are cheating. But the fact is that all those rules based on the fact that you have 2 hands prevent you from cheating, because if you try to cheat and have, for example, 3 tiles in hand, then you're like...
People are going to notice that, and you're going to feel that you're going to...
You're handicapping yourself, because looking for 3 tiles is not good. It's not easy.
Even 2 tiles is a bit much to keep, because there's 2 sides to each tile.
Exactly. So in fact, when I saw people playing this game, every time, I never see anybody cheating, because it's hindering you instead of helping you. You understand? Hindering, I think it's the right word. So it's a game that is made to play all together, all simultaneously, and everything is made so it goes regularly. Of course, at the first game, there's some people doing mistakes of puzzles or touching only one side.
Placing them incorrectly.
Yeah, then we say, oh no, this you can't. In the rules, it's all taken care of. You're supposed to remove it. it goes back to you. If we don't remember who it was and nobody pronounces himself, it goes in there.
Back in the bag.
If there's other tiles connected, they all go into the discard in the bag. So all the rules, if you make mistakes, are in the rule book. In the second game, not in the first game you play, there's penalties when you do a mistake. You lose a profit, the little miniatures you have. So, and usually because at the second game, nobody makes mistakes. If you do mistakes, that means it's almost a willing mistake, you know what I mean? You made it on purpose. So that's why we put this penalty. So basically this is it. It works fine at 2, 3 and 4 player. Of course, the more you are, the faster it goes, the more fun it is.
So with 2 players, how long does it take?
It would be the 30 minutes written on it, unless you're really bad at puzzle. And then it goes down. With you, it was 14 minutes.
Wow, that's fast.
I remember, as we can see on the video. So. Then we have different variants, those tokens. So what we use in the rules and what I just explained to you is that here we play with no hourglass and all the hands, everybody together. We don't wait for your turn. You don't wait for your turn. Then we played with visible gods. The gods are visible there at the beginning, and that means that at any time during the game, when I see that there's a lot of forest, for example, or a lot of sea, I'm going to say, oh, okay, I take the god of the merfolk, I take the goddess of the sea. So now the seas are what is important for me. Because at the beginning of the game, we are all like, it's a cooperative game until somebody chooses a god, but then it's not cooperative anymore. And in this variant, the one we use to explain the rules, the one we think is the most fun, you choose your god whenever you want in the game. That's also something new, that at any point somebody's going to choose and it's going to trigger a chain reaction because everyone's going to, oh shit, you chose the merfolk. Yeah, I have to choose before. I have only the last one for me, and which is the worst one probably. So I'm going to choose the god of the plains, and I take the prophet with it, which is when I can start placing prophet and building cities and putting them on it. So this makes that in the whole time of the game, at one point in there, somebody's going to decide that everything's going to change. And that's the fun thing. If you play with the other side of the token, here we distribute the gods face down at the beginning. So you choose a color of miniatures, the blue, but maybe you're going to receive the plane, so we don't know who you are exactly. The fact is that you know you are the god of the plane, and you have the miniatures of the prophets right from the start, which you can place right from the start. Okay, so that's the second type of playing. The one that might be the most played or interesting for other players, what I originally called the German variant, is this one. Because some people complain that for some people it's bothering to have 4 hands or 8 hands working on the same board. So it's letting people take
turns around the table.
Here you have turns and you have an hourglass. I didn't put it out, it's in the box, but it's a 30-second hourglass that we use at the end of the game. It's always used anyway. But if you play this variant, you have 30 seconds to play. You do whatever you want. You draw, you place, you put profits, you construct city, you choose your god. As long as your timer is not finished. Me, I'm looking when it's finished. Oh, my turn. I have 30 seconds. I do whatever I want. You gain the fact that you don't have many hands
chaos.
working.
It's a little more structured, but it's still a fast-paced game.
But you have to wait if you play 1 minute 30 until it gets back to you. You can still think and look at the tiles where you could place, but it's not the same thing. But for the people who like more quiet, they could play this variant. And then the other tokens just tell you how many profits you should leave in the box. If you play 2 players, there's 2 variants. I'm not going to explain them now. If you play 4 players, there's 10 of each. And if you play 3 players, there's 13. The good thing is that if you don't know how to play, you can just do like this and like this. And we're going to play turn by turn with hourglass and with the god visible.
Very good.
So you can do that. So as you were saying, the last thing I want to just say, when you say it's chaos, people think, because it's all simultaneously, that it's really like party game, very much chaos, but it's not really. If you look at the video we shot
it's not a party game at all.
No, it's the pace of a party game, but the feeling of a strategy game.
But the feeling of a strategy game, definitely, I agree.
And there's not really, there's hands, so sometimes you have people looking at your tiles and their hands are bothering you and you're like, hey, get out. But it's their right, they can be here, so you have to just look under and go.
It's a quick, fast-paced, chaotic strategy game.
Yeah, not so chaotic, that's what I mean. People think that it's really chaotic, but it's not. It's not really chaotic, it's fast. And it's at 39 euros, maybe last year on the fair for promotion, I don't know. And you can put the box
any way you want,
depending on the gods you prefer.
Thank you so much. That is 4 gods from Ludicali.